So hello everybody, I'm here with Caterina Ligato again. How are you today?
I'm good. I've been on an amazing ayahuasca journey. I decided to do this because I have been feeling incredibly overwhelmed by life and about all the crisis that is going on our planet at the moment. I've been just feeling so raw and so pretty much alone. Sometimes it's become even difficult for me to help people and to find the answers to their issues, and I just felt that I needed to visit home again, to go back to the spirit world and feel recharged with the essence of God once again. And this is exactly what ayahuasca gave me. It gave me an opportunity to go home and to be in the presence of God and to feel that love and that strength again. And I highly recommend for anyone that is truly searching to really become an empowered spiritual being upon this planet, then you must take an ayahuasca journey. It's not easy. It's powerful. You meet every single one of your demons, every single one of them. You go through a process where once you take the ayahuasca medicine, it travels through your body and you feel every single thing, every single experience in your own life that has been unresolved or that you have filed away. It comes into your mind, into your heart, and you are given that opportunity to actually heal and to actually bring love into that experience. I would say that doing ayahuasca was like equivalent to perhaps doing a whole year of intensive therapy.
Wow.
Yes, and I'm speaking as someone who has taken many spiritual journeys and worked through a lot of my issues. Like I have, even in the beginning, I did fire walks, I did rebirthing. I felt like I had worked on a lot of my own personal issues so that I could go out there and be the best I could be for people. But this was a whole nother level. A whole nother level of healing and of a better understanding now, of a better understanding as to why I'm here and my true purpose, and doing it all under this umbrella of incredible love, incredible support. And this is what the ayahuasca journey does. I just am so grateful to the ayahuasca medicine for healing me on such a deep level, and I know that I will now become an even better person, an even stronger person, and I found the strength to do what I am here to do.
Wow. How many sessions are needed? Is there a scale of sessions needed
I
or?
believe with ayahuasca that she will call you. She is a spirit, she is a feminine spirit, and she will call you back when you need to go back. Even just the one journey for me has completely changed my life, and I look at things now differently. I feel more accepting and more able to deal with the chaos on planet Earth. The one thing that the ayahuasca medicine gave to me very strongly is that we all need to come together as true brothers and sisters, and we need to help to heal the spirit of Mother Earth. Ayahuasca medicine took me on a journey, and I was basking in the light and love of Mother Earth. And her spirit is so beautiful and so unconditionally filled with love and light for us all. And she gives us so much support. And we take it all for granted. We go on with our busy lives, and we become quite self-absorbed in our lives and running around and doing our day-to-day duties that we forget her soul. Spirit Gaia, she is a powerful being. She is our spiritual support here on earth, and everything that humanity has done to this planet. We have destroyed our planet. We have bit by bit destroyed her spirit. And this is why there is so much chaos on this planet. This is why people are fighting with each other, and there is war on this planet, and there is horrible things on this planet that take place amongst humanity, because we have completely stepped out of the vibration of love. And we are all, like I said, what she showed me is that we are all running around like chickens with no heads and just worried about our own life, our own little circle of our own family and friends, and we don't look outside of that to really be grateful for this planet, because God created this planet for us, and we all need to come together and be grateful for that. Every morning now I wake up and I give thanks to the Spirit of Mother Earth for allowing me to experience my life on this planet. And this is what the message that I was told to come back and share. And so the more through the night, the more I went through my journey. It was an incredible journey of self-healing and also healing my past relationships and just healing the core of my very soul. I felt, by the end of it, I felt like she had taken me apart and put me back together again.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just hard to find the words to describe, but I also, as I went deeper into the medicine, my spiritual father, Sitting Bull, who has always been one of my, I don't want to say that he's my spirit guide because that would be doing him injustice, but he has been my spiritual father throughout my journey as a healer, and he has always brought to me so much love and so much strength, only because of their journey and what they endured here in this physical world. The Sioux Indians, I mean, all Indigenous people have been disrespected and massacred by human beings, other human beings, fellow human beings, and yet they were able to forgive and go on and be in the realms of spirit, but they are still very much around the world, within the energy of this planet, trying to activate people's hearts, trying to awaken their hearts, and trying to bring the love that Mother Earth needs, because we as human beings down here are not doing this. We're not doing it enough. And so therefore they are still around us in the higher realms, but bringing in love, bringing in the vibration of peace upon this earth. So when Sitting Bull appeared to me, it was like we were immersed together in a way that I've never experienced the totality of his loving vibration. And he wrapped me in this blanket. It was a beautiful blanket, and it just had the vibration of the Sioux Indians and their strength, but also their sacrifice and their suffering, and I felt that, and from there I just went deeper and deeper, and then I saw Jesus. I saw him. He came to me, and he was wearing this beautiful white robe with like a red robe sort of over it, and his heart chakra was huge. It was bright, it was golden, and his eyes were like shining lights, and he just looked into my soul, and I felt this incredible love that you just don't feel it here, because when we're here on earth, we feel so distant from God. We feel so, because it is a long way, and the vibration of earth is so much lower, and therefore we feel the disconnect from God. But ayahuasca allowed me to have a front row seat back into the spirit world and back with Jesus. And then I felt the voice of God, and God took me on a journey and showed me the suffering that is going on amongst the human beings. And again, that the voice of God kept repeating, tell my people to love each other. You are all brothers and sisters. We should be loving each other rather than being at war with each other. And something that I've written down that was very important that God wanted me to share, that God is not happy the way all these religious texts, the Bibles, the Quran, all of these religious texts have been distorted. His word has been distorted. And the truth of who God is and who we are is in our hearts. These books are here to help us and guide us, but the truth needs to be in our hearts. We need to go into our heart and listen to the voice of God within us.
Amen.
Amen, truly amen. And throughout this journey, I was shown the gravity of what we've done to our planet, and we are at the edge of destruction, which was hard to take, but it was a reality that God shared with me. And I could see the people on earth, but it was like I was seeing their energy. I wasn't seeing their bodies, and I could feel the pain in people's hearts. And I believe that the first lot of pain comes from our separation from God. When we come here into this planet, the first thing I believe that why we cry is we cry because we have just left the spirit world. And we are here and we feel that disconnect, and we long to feel that feeling of love, that feeling of being immersed in that security and that strength that God is. I was shown also the beauty of this earth, and that there is still time. We need to take control of our planet. God made this planet for us, but we are allowing the dark forces to take over. We are allowing the dark forces to continue to destroy our beautiful planet, but also to destroy our souls. This is what was shown to me very clearly, that we are allowing the demonic forces to come into our lives by our actions, by our thoughts, by even the food we eat. And God made this very clear, and I'm very sorry that, again, that this will be a hard thing to swallow, but God said this to me very clearly, that when we kill an animal, it is exactly the same as though we have killed another human being. There is no difference, because you and I and the animals, we are all one. They exist on a different consciousness to us, but we are still connected to them. So when we massacre and murder the animals, we are also massacring and murdering ourselves. And this energetic imprint stays with us in our souls. And then we need to deal with this when we die and go to the other side. We will need to cleanse this imprint. We will need to go through and work through this before we can ascend. And I want to share this story because this was very strongly shown to me. As a spiritual healer, I've been speaking to a lot of people about being vegan and getting off, leaving the animals because they have a right to exist and we do not have a right to take their life. And sometimes people would say, oh, it's so hard, can I please eat fish until I can go to the next stage? And sometimes I've said to people, okay, if you must eat fish, then eat fish until you're able to leave the animals alone and stop eating flesh. So Mother Ayahuasca took me on a journey, and I went into the ocean of the earth, and I was looking at the beauty of our oceans, and I could see the fish and the sharks and the whales, everything. I just saw it was so beautiful, it was so peaceful in their world. And I entered the consciousness of the ocean, and I felt the fish speaking to me and saying, why do you tell people to eat us? Why do you not love us as much as you love the cows and pigs and the sheep and the lambs? And I felt such shame that I had even done that.
Wow.
I was doing it as thinking as a solution that, well, if they're going to eat fish, hopefully eventually they'll drop the fish. But they felt that pain every time I was allowing people and telling them that, okay, that's okay, but the next step needs to be that you stop your fish eating. But they came to me and said, why do you not love us as much? And so that was the awakening for me, that we shouldn't be eating any life form, because their lives are not ours to take. They are here because they are part of this world and they serve a purpose here. And their purpose is between them and God. And so I just really am asking everybody that truly, truly wants to unify with the presence of love, that it is so, so important to purify your bodies. We have been brainwashed to believe that eating animals is the right thing. Well, I had a front row seat with God and with Jesus, and let me tell you that it is not. It is not acceptable on any level. We have an abundance of fruit and vegetables and grains and seeds and supermarkets filled with alternatives. And this is what will feed our bodies. These are the foods that will truly heal our bodies. The more death we put in our bodies, the more we will die. And the more we will suffer at the time of our own death, because we will have to clear this energy. We will have to work through this energy, because we take this with us. Yeah. It is the most, it really awakens you to realize. I feel so awakened. And the amazing part about it was that there was a few of us who are vegans, and we did not vomit throughout, because ayahuasca medicine, part of it is the purging. The purging is a very strong part of it. And those of us who were vegans did not vomit. But the other ones that were people that were eating flesh were vomiting all through the night. And I also, because of my psychic abilities, there were moments where I came out of the medicine and came back to the room to bring love and support to those that were purging. I physically saw darkness coming out of them. I saw dark entities coming out of them as they purged.
Wow.
Yeah. So to me now, in my heart and soul, I will completely and 100% say to everyone who's listening to this, please, please do not eat any life. Do not eat fish. Do not eat any flesh. Become pure, because we are not here forever. We will have to face our deaths at the end of this journey, and you will have to journey back to God, and you will be made accountable. You will be made accountable for this form of eating. And God also said to me that there is going to be absolute plagues and plagues of illness upon the earth if people don't stop. And from that, he took me to this place where all the animals were in spirit, and they were so beautiful. Like the cows and the mother cows were with their little babies, and the pigs, and there was wildlife there, and there was the ocean and the fish, and they were all basking in the light of God. And all of those animals were being kept from this planet. God said they cannot return because they will be abused, and their souls have been so abused. What we have done to them is absolute demonic evil, what we have done to them. And I know that sometimes we've all done it, not realizing, believing that this is the right thing to do, believing we need honest bullshit. You do not need flesh, and it is not hard to give it up. You must think that you are not your physical body. You are a spiritual vessel of love. And to love, you must return. And love is what you need to be when you are here on this planet. We all need to embrace each other and be the brothers and sisters that God wants us to be. We need to have compassion for our fellow beings, these sentient beings. We need to stop putting them in slave camps and taking their babies away from them and torturing them and drinking the milk that is not ours to drink. God said, this is not your milk. This is why God created us with such beauty, that when we give birth, we give our babies the milk, and then that's it. We do not need any more milk after that. We should not be drinking their milk. We should not be causing them the suffering that we cause them. And we need to start loving each other and loving nature and going out in nature and opening up our hearts. And rather than fighting it, we need to ask God every moment of every minute of every day to awaken our hearts to who we really are, because we are the light in this world. And every time we eat flesh, and every time we do the wrong thing, and every time we step into hatred, we are aligning with the dark forces that are trying to take over our planet. And this was shown to me very, very clearly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you had quite the divine revelations in this journey.
Yes. And the next morning once I got home from ayahuasca, I remember I was in my kitchen and I was making myself a coffee, and I was just standing there and I began to cry because I remembered the beautiful warmth and love of the spirit world and who we are. And I just felt so far away from God again. And God said, you'll go back to that battlefield and you'll feel that pain again, but hopefully now I will have more strength and be able to say what I need to say. And my dear brothers and sisters, I say this with utter love for all of you. Please, let's not put an end to this planet because it's heading that way. We need to unite. There are dark forces around each and every one of us, dark forces that want to destroy what God created for us. And it will only get worse. Every single one of you can make a difference right now by feeling the love, by praying more, meditating more, being in nature, and just eating foods that are plants, eating the grains, eating nuts, eating all of those things that God provided for us. And as you do that, your heart will align again with God the way it's meant to align, and God will find you. God will find you and God will heal you. And then together we can begin to do the real healing that needs to take place for our world. Otherwise, there will be nothing left of this planet. Nothing.
Wow.
And that was pretty much what God wanted me to come back and share with this journey. And I will absolutely try my best to continue to be a voice for God. I will continue to pray and to be grateful and to be the warrior that is needed. And we are all needed to be the spiritual warriors. Because, I know that, we get caught up in our lives and we forget. And we think we're going to be here forever, but we're not.
That's
and
right.
That's what God wants me to
All good things come to an end, unfortunately.
Yes. and we will be made accountable for every action, for every thought, for every word. And before I went to God, I went through at least what was like 5 hours of facing every negative thought, every negative feeling I have had towards people, every negative situation that I could have dealt differently. I had to face all of that and go into a space of absolute forgiveness, genuine forgiveness, before I could ascend higher and higher. Like, I had to work hard to go to God, to go to Jesus. It just didn't happen. I had to work really hard with
Sounds almost as if you went
my
through
own inner
purgatory.
demons. It is very much, exactly, Julia. It is purgatory. You purge your soul before you can ascend. But once you do it, it's worth it. It's worth it. And I know that not everyone, you don't need to go to ayahuasca to reach these heights. Just by doing the things that I've come back and shared with you all is all that needs to be done. Teach your children compassion. Teach your children every night before they go to bed to say thank you to Mother Earth for our planet. Thank you to God for what God has created. Teach your children compassion and love. Teach them, because we are going to leave them in such a mess that they will be lost in it if we don't.
Wow,
And in a nutshell, yeah, that was my journey.
amazing. It's very inspirational. So if anybody was thinking on actually going to have one of these sessions, how do they go about doing that?
Ask
What
the
what are some of the preparations they have to go through before?
Definitely get off all the flesh. Definitely, or you will be with a bucket vomiting and purging all night long. And you will not get the complete joy out of it that I did. Pray to the spirit of ayahuasca. She is a feminine spirit. She sits in oneness with the spirit of Mother Earth. Ask, and if you are meant to do the journey, she will call you and you will find a way to have the medicine.
Okay, so it
It's a
comes to you.
very, very sacred, it's a very sacred medicine. And she will come to you when you are ready, but you must prepare. And that is how I prepared.
Perfect.
And I know now that I will never be the same again. I will never take for granted the things that I've taken for granted. And I will be so much more very mindful of my thoughts and my emotions and my words. And I truly pray for a world of peace.
We need that in today's world. We really do. We need more peace, a lot less hatred. Those are beautiful
People
words,
are
Caterina.
People are suffering from depression and illness, and they're getting lost using drugs and using alcohol as an escape. And you don't have to. You can use the power of love, and the power of love will heal. It will heal you.
Indeed.
You just got to make your body and soul see it as a temple, because our bodies are a temple of love. They house the Spirit of God. They house the Spirit of the universe. We come from the stars. We come from the heart of God. And if we can begin to embrace that and begin to live from the spirit of love for every single thing, then you will transform and you will heal and you will feel incredible joy on this planet. And you will be a bringer of love.
Beautiful words.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caterina.
Thank you,
And
Julie.
no worries. I hope you have a beautiful day. Is there any last message you'd like to say to our viewers?
Just open up your hearts, please. And please, we need to truly stop Like God said, when we kill an animal, it is no different than if we've killed another human being.
That's
It is
right.
classified as murder. Murder is murder, and there are no exceptions. No exceptions.
Absolutely. Thank you, Caterina. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you. And
day.
you too. God bless you.
Thank
And
you,
God bless everyone out there.
everybody.
May the spirit of love carry you forward, and may you all find your truth.
Amen.
Amen.
See you later.
Bye bye. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.